This year I released my first film, a feature documentary, and I probably wouldn't have done it if it weren't for Jaws, or more specifically, the Jaws ride. Ever since I watched Jurassic Park at a young age, I've been obsessed with movies. And as I reached high school and started to think about actually making them, I didn't think I could come up with anything as incredible as E.T. or The Goonies, so I started to think about documentary filmmaking. After all, one of my favorite things growing up was the behind-the-scenes feature out of a film. Around the same time, I was absolutely devastated by the announcement of the closure of my favorite theme park attraction, the Jaws ride. I began obsessing over the idea of making a documentary about it. I started writing a script, doing research, emailing ride manufacturers that worked on the attraction for interviews. I even shot interviews with team members that worked the closing of the attraction. Unfortunately, I was just in over my head as an 18-year-old with no filmmaking experience, and this project never came to fruition. But everything I learned from this experience helped me when I tried once again to make a feature documentary 9 years later, and this time it worked out. So this year, Jaws turns 50. I turned 30. I've finally released my first film, and because of the anniversary of Jaws, they're doing some special stuff over at Universal Studios Florida, and it includes some tributes to the Jaws ride. So I want to go check them out for myself.
Imagine you're 17 years old, huge fan of movies, you're moving to Orlando to go to school for film, and you want to work here part-time on the Jaws ride. But then they announce that it's closing just a year before you get to move and work here. I moved and I didn't even end up applying at Universal. I applied at Disney instead. I did eventually end up working here, but that's a whole different story.
Hey, Doc.
Yes?
Mind if I film?
Certainly.
Okay. You think we could go back in time to when the Jaws ride was here?
Certainly. You have to make an appointment, though. I'm all booked up.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if I could come with you.
I can take you to 2072.
Would it mess things up? 2072?
That's right. Shall I make an appointment for you now, or?
Yeah, do that now.
What's the last name?
Bailey.
Bailey?
Yeah.
How many?
2.
All right, now we're taking the DeLorean, so somebody's going to have to share a seat.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
That worked out with Marty and
exactly
Jennifer.
What year are you looking to go back to?
We could go back to like 2010.
2010.
Sure.
2010. All right, I'll pick you up April 1st, 3 a.m. In the year 2073 right here.
All right.
Pack a lunch, bit of a trip, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, and where's the clothes I can get wet? It's one of those rides, huh?
Thanks, Doc. I'm excited. Or I could just go to Japan probably sooner than that.
Well, either way, it's up to you. I won't tell you how it is. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
You don't want to know the future.
Thanks,
Surprise.
Doc.
So much has changed at Universal Studios Florida, yet so much remains exactly the same. It almost feels like I could just walk back that way through San Francisco, head right into Amity and ride the Jaws ride. Behind me is just about where the entrance to the ride would have been and where that iconic shark was hanging. The only remnants of Jaws in this area is a bathroom over here. But speaking of that iconic shark, it is still here, just in a different spot. And that spot right now has been transformed into Amity. For the 50th anniversary of Jaws, they've kind of turned this area that now houses the hanging shark into a sort of tribute to Amity area, and it even has a replica of the Jaws ride vehicle. They also have some food booths over here with Jaws-themed items, sort of a replica of the Midway Grill with the Nathan's hot dog that was right in the entrance to Amity to the left, and I just had to get one for old time's sake. Something they definitely didn't have was an Narragansett. This is the beer that Quint drinks in the movie. Crushes the can, different can, but I definitely had to get one of these. And I will crush the can.
Another fun thing they did in this area was overlay the closest shop with some Jaws theming. My favorite part about this, and the main reason I drove out here, is the actual props and artifacts from the Jaws ride, like this cast member shirt. Now, I actually have some Jaws ride and movie memorabilia and props around my house that I would love to show you guys. This is my real Jaws ride cast member shirt. I got this on eBay. You can see the cracked screen print because it's not new. Unfortunately, someone cut the sleeves off of it, but I bought it anyways. You know, I don't condone stealing. Some of these items might have been walked out of the park. It's really the only way that this would have made it out. This I may have taken out on the last day. There was a Q rope that was sort of discarded that just kind of made its way out of the park. Now I was 17, I realize now this is just a generic Q rope that they have at Universal, but it's special to me because I got it on the Jaws ride. This, you know, not from the ride, but sentimental. This was the license plate I had on my first car, my dad's Jeep. I themed it to the Jaws ride. Amity 6 is the boat that you're on, so I themed it to that. And then I mentioned I did end up working at Universal. This is my name tag. You can write in the city you're from, and I wrote in Amity, Massachusetts. It's a little tribute to the Jaws ride. I also worked right on top of where the ride used to be in a sick twist of irony. So that was I stuck it to him by doing this. That's probably my favorite thing I have. On the last day, I collected some water. I recently made this custom label for it. You can see some mold in there. But this is very special to me. I brought a water bottle and I filled it up, and I've had it ever since. It's 2012. I get asked about this a lot. And then Jaws movie related, I have this scuba tank. This is the same exact brand scuba tank as in the movie, the famous tank that is thrown into Bruce's mouth and blown up. My brother-in-law found this at a Goodwill or some thrift store in Jacksonville, called me freaking out. Immediately bought it. This is one of the coolest things I own, honestly. So what's the point of all of this? Well, for me, it's that it's okay to fail. Sure, I never finished that Jaws ride documentary I set out to make in high school, but everything I learned trying to make it helped me years later when I actually did make a documentary. Reaching out to people for interviews was easy for me because I had done it countless times for the Jaws ride documentary. So don't be afraid to start a project, even if you think you might not finish it, because you'll learn something no matter what. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. This was really cool for me to look back on this now that I've released my first documentary and take a look at like the first time I actually tried to make something, and it was really kind of the first project that lit that fire to make documentaries. So obviously a little bit different of a video, not a vlog, but I hope I can do more like structured videos like this in the future. And maybe I'll cut together some footage of that Jaws ride documentary. I really did go out at Universal and interview some former Jaws skippers, so maybe I can do something with it. It's pretty terrible footage, but that's okay. This was before I had a 4K camera. I don't even know if you could just go to the store and buy a 4K camera at the time. This was like 2013, so maybe a really, really expensive one. All right. Thanks, everybody.